Good afternoon. This is Pastor Barbara, aka Preacher with Parrots. Today is August 14th, 2016. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. 2 hours ago, we finished our uh, internet church service, and in 3 hours, we begin another one. I've been up since 2:30 in the morning. I hope I can do this. I should say that I have never made a video that benefited me. This is my media. I grew up in a time when teachers and preachers were sort of looked up to. People almost thought we didn't have private lives. We didn't have problems. We never discussed that we were human beings like everybody else. So this is rather new to me. So I'm not calling this one of my regular videos. I guess I'm calling this a commentary. And I might do it again, but this is my first time. I normally don't speak with notes, but I made some so I can do this as quickly as possible. And when I say I should say we, because this involves a lot of other people, many of which are like myself. Another neighbor and myself are closer to 90 than we are 80 because of deaths in the household since moved in about 18 years ago. We both live alone, and we both have rather serious health concerns. I got 2 phone calls 1 week and 2 days ago. It was a Friday. Today is a Sunday. Telling me that there was a sign up that a road was going to be closed. Sign was made with red crayon on cardboard. And it said, road closed, August 17 to 20. At this moment, you know as much about it as I do. I got in the car, drove down, found a sign that was white paint on plywood, said road closure, August 17th to 20th, for maintenance. Where the street meets the access road. And an access road, sometimes called a private road, is a road that you apply for before you build a house, or in this case, a series of homes, because you cannot build your house on the street. And the only way you can access your home is to build a road for that purpose. So between the street and the access road, there was another sign like the first one, red crayon on cardboard. The next day, I noticed another sign. I don't know if it was put up later or I just missed it on Friday. It had another piece of what I consider valuable information. It had an arrow. The arrow pointed in a particular direction. If you went in that direction, you would see potholes and so forth that could mean repair. Now, that led us to believe that probably they were going to work on the road. 3 or 4 weeks ago, I was visiting neighbors there, and I saw some green, looked like green paint in the middle of the road. And then off the road, you know how when you want to draw a line on grass, you do it with flour? Something like that. The closed for maintenance, the arrow to the potholes, made us believe that it must be road repair that they're closing for. It doesn't look like 4 days work for me. I think a bunch of women could do it in one day, but I'm only assuming. And with all the information I've given you, that's all we know. Now, that was Friday. I called AWAC. AWAC is Arrowhead Woods Agricultural uh, Association, Inc. And years ago, they were more active when agreement to put the property around the lake up for sale came about. And they gave us permits to do things. Well, let me look at my notes. I don't use notes, but I want to do this as quickly as I can. I called them and I asked them if I was going to ask them if they could help us, if they had any information we didn't have. But I was told that they were closed on Friday. Well, Saturday, I have a fellowship meeting in the evening. Sunday, two 2-hour services. So Monday, I was ready to start forming a letter that I could send out to people asking for information. My neighbor volunteered, since I had a computer crash and lost the contact telephones and emails for other people farther down the road. He was going to give that to me. Lo and behold, well, let me show you the newspaper. This is what I came home to. Fire down on the bottom. These were constantly going over my home. In this case, laying retardant. And in this case, dropping water on what we call a hotspot. We have a marvelous fire department. Not one structure lost. One fireman, I think, possibly some minor injury. I called. I had served on the Fire Safety Council many years ago when they got ready to, when we discussed putting in what's called a reverse 911, where there is an emergency and they automatically call us if you have a landline. So I called the emergency number. I got a phone call from somebody that said, we're under a voluntary evacuation. Now, this is my fourth fire, the third fire in these mountains. They said, no, voluntary. I said, okay, it's been a while since I was on the council. I know that this was in for a while. Do we still have the reverse 911 where you will call if it goes mandatory? Yep. Well, I got the call. And so my other neighbor, who's also elderly, and I, this was getting close to evening. If you're a good citizen and the fire department asks you to leave, you leave. If you don't, and things get worse, you're not only in danger yourself, but you endanger the fire and the police that are trying to help you. So Monday night, those of us that got the call. Now, this newspaper says there was never any mandatory leaving. But some of us got the call. You know, we're all human. I would certainly not feel badly about anybody who tried to help me, and in trying to help me under that much pressure, made a mistake and corrected it. And only a few of us got the call. I don't know. I only know what my life was like because I did get the call and because I had to leave. I have a new a medication that's rather new. I don't know a lot about it. That you can't not take it or you're in trouble. I had called the pharmacy and the doctor the day before twice. It didn't come in, but I had to leave. I wound up spending a few hours trying to get it filled by a pharmacist that didn't know me from John Henry. And I had to pay close to $100 to something I normally pay $35, $40 for. Couldn't get any information on what was going on here except by calling people that were here. Then we learned it wasn't mandatory. I'm telling you that, not to make a complaint. I'm telling you that so that you'll know why today, Sunday, 1 week and 2 days later, I still have not been able to learn anything about the road. The other gentleman who was going to get me the information so that I can contact the part-timers. The only notice we have is by that red crayon cardboard sign. People could show up Friday or Saturday of next week and learn that they didn't have access to their home. Even if they were a mountain climber, a cliff climber, you come with your pets, with groceries. I cannot park on the road and walk down. My wheelchair is not electric. I only leave my home in a car. Got back. So now it's Thursday. I have a medical appointment. I get back. I call. I tell AWAC my story. It's still Thursday. I want to send them a letter with pictures that I have in my cell phone. I sent it. I realized I had sent it the night before. That morning, I go to my mail, and it not only didn't send the email because the pictures were the wrong number or size, whatever that means. It didn't send it to the people. It didn't return it to me. So I had to write another letter. Then I got the idea that perhaps I could put the pictures on social media. Well, I called, told them my problem. They were kind enough to tell me that they would look for my email the next day, which of course I sent minus pictures, even though they were closed. Now, Wednesday, which is the 17th, and the closure starts, I have an appointment with a new oncologist. A year ago, tests were done that when I went 7 months ago, did not look good. So I was really anxious. I go every 6 months since my surgery. And I was really anxious to talk to the oncologist when I find out that my medical group has made a change and now I've got to find another oncologist. So I really need to see this guy. I'm somewhat concerned. I'm not a worrier, but I'm somewhat concerned and I would like to keep that appointment. I don't know if I can. Now, there was a person who made a suggestion that perhaps someone she knew who lived on another street that they can access because they live on another street. They can park in the road in front of their house. They have driveways. But they might want to use the access road to get to the rear of their property. I was also told, in fact, I was given information, and if anybody can help us and needs information, I have a lot to give you. I was told that these people whose property abuts the road now own half the road. So somebody owns half the road. They don't have the legal clause that they have to pay for stuff that's done on the road, but I do. I don't know who's ordered whatever is being done. I have no clue what's being done. But if it is road construction or maintenance, I've got to pay. If I have to pay, first of all, my property value just went down. See how much you can get for a house when you have to go through this. I have to pay, and I didn't pick the worker. Whoever picked the contractor is dealing with somebody that deals with crayon, that doesn't have an email address, a telephone, a name, but has authority to close the road. Did California close it? Did San Bernardino County close it? Did Lake Arrowhead close it? Did an individual close it? Did Tom, Dick, or Harry close it? I don't know. Nobody knows anything about access roads. I'm a legal interpreter. If anybody can get me a law, I guarantee you, I not only will understand what I read, I can interpret it to another language. If anybody can give me a law about access roads, please do. If anybody can point me to an elected official, I tried. I'm given a little box that big to write something into. And I don't know how long it would take them to read it. And I've told you what I've done every day since I discovered the signs. So after I rewrote the thing and sent it off, that was yesterday morning. I will try to send that letter off to some local real estate people, maybe attorneys. Got 2 days. And then, I don't know. Anybody with any information on access roads, any information on who can close a road, because normally what they do on the highway, even a busy highway, they'll close it for 20 minutes. Then they'll open it, we all go through, and they close it for another 20 minutes. On a less busy street, they will open it for an hour or two in the morning, an hour at noon, an hour in the evening, and they let you know with plenty of time ahead so that you can plan if you work and have to take that road. So let me check my notes and make sure I've mentioned everything I wanted to say. I think I have. I'm not a person that puts my business out there. I'm a person who wants to involve the public, and most of my viewers are international and national, not local. So I don't know who will see this video, but if anybody, especially in California, does, if you have any information, I will be uploading this as soon as I can, and I will be monitoring it. I can't give you any more information now. I'm not going to give out my address for sure. But I live in Lake Arrowhead, California. a beautiful place, marvelous people. We see a car pulled over, we don't wave. We park our car and get out and ask what they need. I mean, that's mountain living, that's mountain people. That's us. To me, there is no such thing as it's not in my job description. If you can help somebody, you help. We need information, and we got 2 days, the 15th and the 16th, Monday and Tuesday. And then it starts. What starts? I have no idea. If you have any information, please drop a note. I'll monitor it. Thank you so much. God bless you.